How's going out there, YouTube land and also social media lands? Welcome to an all-new video. In this video, we're going to be doing a review of a new film that just came out June 30th, and is the fifth film in a long-running series that the last time we got an outing was 2008, so we're going to get right into that. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you miss this video and the other videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the great places. And also, if you love the channel, give it support by checking out my Patreon page where you get all kinds of extra accoutrement you don't get here on my YouTube channel. So definitely check that out too. As always, people, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all-new video. So like I was saying before, we're doing a review of a new film that just came out June 30th, and is the fifth film in a long-running series called Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Yeah, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So I was very skeptical going into this film at first because of all the reviews and everything I've seen people post about it. Plus also a lot of people didn't care too much for the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull as well. So a lot of people were worried what they were going to do with this Indiana Jones film. And at the same time, this has been a very iconic character for many years, since 1981. And Harrison Ford has been playing this character, since the beginning of Indiana Jones, and has always played him very well. And so, there's a lot of expectations that we get when we're going in to see certain films, and this happens to be one of those types of films. Now, generally, I don't go by off what other critics say and stuff like that. I really don't care what they think. I'm going to make the judgment for myself. But, when some of the things recently have been coming true, it's kind of hard not to think that. Now, this, of course, is one of those films that, it's good and it's bad, but at the same time, it's a lot better than what you think. And I was really surprised at how much I actually enjoyed this film, and I was really surprised that it was as good as it actually ended up becoming. Now, this movie has a great all-star cast and is just a really well-constructed film that I thought was a decent outing for it supposedly being Harrison Ford's final time as this character. And, I think that, it wasn't as bad as what they're making it out to be. And at the same time, I'm really shocked that, it isn't doing as well in the box office as it could be, because it's actually a pretty decent film. And I think a lot of the characters and qualities of this film are actually a lot better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Now, of course, this time around, we didn't get Steven Spielberg to direct this film, and he actually has directed the first four films, so this is the first time somebody else is directing this film. But that happens to be none other than the director known as Mr. James Mangold. Oh yeah, James Mangold, woo, James Mangold, yeah! So James Mangold, you might recognize from a slew of other films he's directed over the years. He directed Logan, he directed Magnolia. I mean, he's directed quite a few films over the years, and he's become a really great director, and I really enjoy him as a director. I think he does a really good job. I think he brings a lot of greatness to his films, and I think he's got a really good eye for action, for drama, for great writing, and is just an overall really great director. Now, of course, this film is, not your typical film that you would see James Mangold direct, but I thought he did a really decent job. I was actually really impressed with what he did with this film. He gave us a very indie style feel. He gave us some different, expectations versus what, we were expecting, making kind of Indiana Jones' character look super old when, I'm sorry, but at 80 years old, Harrison Ford doesn't look like your typical 80-year-old. And to make this character kind of like that, I didn't care too much for what they did with that and bringing that into the film. And I thought that James Mangold could have done a better job of giving us a little better outing and making Indiana Jones more dynamic and better. But I will tell you what, there's another great film that James Mangold directed that I absolutely loved and thought was so much better. And I think that he did a really good job with this film, and it's definitely something you should check out if you haven't seen any other James Mangold films. And that happens to be a film called 3:10 to Yuma. Yeah, 3:10 to Yuma. Yeah. So this 2007 film is actually a remake of a 1953 film that starred John Glenn. and is actually a really great remake. And I love what Magnol did with this. He gave us this really great action-packed Western film that didn't feel like a Western, but felt more like an action film, but with Western elements. And at the same time, what a great cast, too. He gave us, Christian Bale, Russell Crowe, and give us other great ensemble cast throughout the rest of the film, Ben Foster. And I just really loved what he did with the film. He gave us a really solid action-packed remake that they took to the next level by giving us so much great action and giving us that really nice hard R that made the film even more enjoyable, where, they did a lot of great action sequences that were really well developed and just really well done. Plus, also, I think the writing of the film was a really great remake of that original script and just did a really good job, and I just love everything that James did with this film. If you haven't seen 310 to Yuma remake, definitely check it out for James Mangold's directing style. He did a really fantastic job with this. So, when it comes to Mangold in this film, like I said, I don't think he did a horrible job, and I think he did a pretty good job, but overall I think he could have done better with certain elements of the film, and making Indiana Jones the awesome character he has always been, and things that he's overcome, he should have overcome in this film, I think, and that's what he should have done with the character, versus making him seem like he was this old, feeble man, which, look at Harrison Ford, at 80, he does not look like a typical 80-year-old. He looks amazing. And so this is something that, I think they kind of try to play out in the film, and I didn't care too much for that direction. But overall, still, I think James Mangold did a really great job with the film. Really great direction. If you haven't seen anything James Mangold has directed, definitely check out Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. He did a pretty decent job. So like I was saying before, this movie has a great cast, of course. There, of course, is a few people in this that we haven't seen in the Indiana Jones series before. But at the same time, we also have a newcomer that just was not a great addition to this film. And I just want to get this out of the way. Miss Phoebe Waller-Bridge, I'm sorry, I just did not care for her character. I thought she was horrible. I didn't care for her character. I definitely didn't feel like she was taking over the Indiana mantle, but at the same time, I just think she was so annoying throughout the whole entire film and did not bring any greatness to this film. Unlike, if you had, like, Marion in the film, which we only got a little glimpse of, the awesome Marion at the end of the film, she was fun in Raiders of the Lost Ark. She was fun in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. She did a really good job, Karen Allen. She was awesome, and she worked well with, Indiana Jones, and she was a great kind of sidekick or dual player. And I didn't feel like that with Phoebe Waller-Bridge in this film, and I just thought that she was a horrible choice and just not a great addition to this film. Now, like I said, this film has a really great cast, and besides Phoebe Waller-Bridge, we had a great cast, of course, of great actors that just kicked butt in this film and that were just really enjoyable. Now, I really enjoyed the addition of the new teenage boy they had in the film that was basically like a second version of, Ke-Huy Quan from Temple of Doom, which a lot of people have been saying, which I think is absolutely hilarious. One person was calling him Second Round or something like that, which was really funny, I thought. But overall, like I said, this cast was really well thought out, besides Phoebe Waller-Bridge, I feel. But, to start us off, of course, is Indiana Jones himself, the awesome, amazing Mr. Harrison Ford! Oh yeah, Harrison Ford, woo! Harrison Ford, yeah! Harrison Ford, yeah! Love Harrison Ford, always have. He's made so many great movies over the years, from Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Games, Frantic, regarding Henry, he's been in a lot of great films, from the Star Wars, etc., and stuff like that, and he's just a really versatile, actor. I love that he can do all kinds of different forms. I've seen him do a little bit of comedy, I've seen him do drama, I've seen him do action. He just is a really well-rounded, awesome actor. And at being, 80 years old, like I mentioned earlier, this guy can still kick butt and looks amazing doing it. Now, with his portrayal of Indiana Jones' film, I thought he did a really fun job. I like what he did with the character. I didn't care too much that he, kind of, went along with the whole making himself seem old and all that kind of stuff. But all together, it wasn't too bad. But overall, his performance was really great. I love his interactions with a lot of the great characters we've seen in previous films, with the new characters he interacted with. I love his vibes with Mads Mikkelsen, and I also love just like his characterization with everything he brought again and bringing back the great Indiana Jones to give us this great supposed final run. Now, of course, this character is really awesome. I absolutely have loved the Indiana Jones character, and Harrison really brought a great piece of himself to the character, and you can still see that in this film. Now, another great film you should check out of Harrison Ford's if you have not seen it. It's a great film that came out in 1993 that really shows his acting talent, I feel, and is just one of his best of all time. And that, of course, is a film called The Fugitive. Yeah! The Fugitive. Yeah! Oh my god, The Fugitive is such an amazing film. Not only is it a great reinterpretation of the great TV series, but it is just an all-around great action-packed thriller film that has great writing, great directing, great acting about everyone involved in it, and just a really fun story. And Harrison Ford, I absolutely love him as Richard Kimball in this film. He really brought it to the T, and a lot of his expressions, a lot of his dialogue, a lot of what he brings to the character felt so genuine and so awesome, and just really showed his great acting chops. And I think this is one of his best films that really shows how good of an actor he is. If you have not seen The Fugitive, highly recommend check it out. Great film. Check it out if you haven't seen it. For Harrison Ford's performance, he was superb in it. Now, like I said, overall, really fantastically done with his bringing back the great Indiana Jones. Could have been a little better, could have had better things added to it, but overall, a decent portrayal again, and a great performance by Harrison, especially when they did the de-aging process at the very beginning of the film. He brought it again to that performance, and I just thought he did such a great job. If you have not seen Harrison Ford in anything recently, definitely go check him out in Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny. He was awesome in it. So that brings me to the next actor I'd like to talk about that was in this film. And that is none other than the main antagonist, the main bad guy in this film, Mr. Mads Mikkelsen! Oh yeah, Mads Mikkelsen! Woo! Mads Mikkelsen! Yeah! Mads Mikkelsen is such an awesome actor. He has done so many great films over the years. He is just so fun. I mean, his portrayal of Hannibal Lecter in the Hannibal TV series is got to be one of the best TV shows I've seen in a long time. And he was so superb as that character. He was so on point, and I absolutely loved everything that Mads brought to that character. And he is just a really versatile actor. I really enjoy everything he brings, and I always love that he's very serious, very deadpan, and brings a lot of greatness to his characters, and always does a fantastic job. Now, with his character in the film, I really enjoyed his German character in the film. I loved his Nazi personification character. I liked what he did with the character. I liked how he kept it very, like, he was distinguished, that he was more than just this, German Nazi person, but at the same time, he was like, kind of like this intellectual, mad scientist, genius type of person. And I enjoyed that they brought that to light and gave us this really great performance by Mads, and he just really enveloped that character. Really greatly done and really well done overall performance by him. And I just enjoyed his interactions with Indiana Jones and what he brought to it, and how he was you really couldn't tell exactly what he was thinking either. And he really brought a kind of like a sense of you're not sure what he's going to do type of feel. And I really enjoyed that. I thought Mads did a really great job with that. Now, another film you should definitely check out Mads in that he was really awesome in is, and he played another villain. And I just absolutely loved his character in this film, and he just did such a great job as the character. And then, of course, this film called Doctor Strange. Yeah! Doctor Strange. Yeah, 2016's Doctor Strange. He was awesome as his villain character in that film. He worked so well with Benedict. He worked so well with Benedict Wong. He worked very well with that whole character and gave us this really amazing, awesome villain that was, a great addition to Dormammu and gave us this really well-rounded performance in it. I just loved it. I loved what he did with it. I loved how he brought it to life and just how sinister he was in that too, and just was really awesome. If you haven't seen Mads in anything, or you haven't seen him in anything recently, definitely check him out in Doctor Strange. He was really superb in the film. But like I said, I absolutely loved him as the bad guy in this film. He was a really great choice, and I just overall really enjoyed him in the film. If you have not seen Mads in anything recently, definitely go check him out. Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny. He did a really great job. So that brings me to the final person I like to talk about that was in this film, and that, of course, is a character that had a really small part in the film, but was just so awesome in that small part. And that, of course, is Mr. Antonio Banderas. Oh yeah, Antonio Banderas, woo! AKA Puss in Boots. Oh my god, absolutely love Antonio Banderas. He is an awesome actor. From his portrayal in Desperado, to Once Upon a Time in Mexico, to his Spy Kids films. I mean, pretty much anything he's been in, Desperado, or Assassins, and so forth like that. He's just a genuine, awesome actor that really always kicks butt and always does a great job in any film he's ever been in. And I just really enjoy Antonio Banderas. I love the characters he brings to life. I like what he does with the characters, and I like that he puts his own Latin spin on them, and they're just always fun. I mean, like his character in The Expendables 3, he was so awesome as that character, and he just does a really good job and always brings a really great life to his characters. Now, when it comes to his performance in, Dial of Destiny, like I said, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so fantastically done. It was so sad what they did with the character, but overall, the performance was just so awesome. And I loved him as Indiana Jones' friend, and I liked what he brought to the character and how he was very superb in what he did with the character and gave us a really great rendition of this small character that had a very small part. It just was really superbly done. Now, another great film he was in that I absolutely love is one of my all-time favorites of his, and I think it's a really fantastic film. It's considered one of the worst films on Rotten Tomatoes. It's considered, a bomb of film, but I absolutely thought it was a fantastic film that should have got more recognition for how good it was. And it came out in 2002 called X vs. Sever Ballistic. Yeah, X vs. Sever. Yeah, this movie was freaking awesome. Had a great cast, had Lucy Liu in it, it had Ray Parks in it, and the whole concept of the film was just so cool. And I don't think Antonio Banderas gets enough credit for how awesome he was in that film. He was so mysterious, he was very gritty, he was awesome, and you didn't really know what his true motives were, and you just really enjoyed his funness in the film, and you enjoyed what he brought to the character, and it just was such a superb performance. If you have not seen anything Antonio Banderas has been in, or haven't seen anything recently, definitely check out X vs. Sever for his performance. He was amazing in it. But overall, I really enjoyed him in the film. Even though it was such a short part, it still was a fantastic feat by this awesome actor. If you have not seen anything recently with Antonio, definitely go check out Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny for his performance. He was excellent in it. So what is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny about? Basically, this outing for Indiana Jones, he basically comes across a past event that he had in his life that included this interesting thing called the Dial of Destiny that basically gives the person the ability to find vortexes that allows you to go into the past. And basically, it's about Indiana Jones getting all the pieces to this amazing Dial of Destiny and stopping a former Nazi from trying to take over the world. And it's such a superb film. I was really impressed with it. I really enjoyed it. I was really shocked at how good it was. I wasn't expecting it to be this good, and I just thought it was a really fun film and wasn't as bad as I feel everyone's been making it out to be. Really fun film. I mean, there were some great sequences in it that I absolutely loved. The whole horse riding sequence is amazing. It was really well done, really action-packed. The sequence where they're being chased over in the Morocco area in those little Vespa types of deals, those little carts are really awesome. That's a great sequence. The whole sequence in the ocean was awesome. You had just a lot of great chase sequence throughout the whole film, and just a lot of great funny humor and just really fun, film that just had so many great little sequences that were just really on point. If you have not seen Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny yet, definitely go check it out in theaters, people. Get out there, check it out, see it for yourself. It's actually a really well done film, really enjoyable, and Magnol did a decent job to keep the Indiana Jones franchise going for a decent, version of, versus a Steven Spielberg version. It was actually a really great addition. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend. Go check it out. Worth the watch. 9 golden movie boxes up, people. 9 golden movie boxes up. Really decent film. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Also, thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been before, don't check any older, newer videos you might not have seen mine yet. As always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my links down below. Either for the awesome horror pack, where you can get great horror films to your door every month that you can see and enjoy with exclusives you don't get anywhere else. Definitely check that out, people. It's a great, great little thing, and they rock. The Horde Pack really does a great job. As always, people, catch you next one.